Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. We are from group 4. I am Farisha Savitri and my partner is Abelia Rifanka Andrichos and Rizka Octavia Damanik. Today we will present about the speech acts. Speech act is something expressed by an individual that not only presents information but performs an action as well. When someone expresses something, he doesn't only produce utterance containing grammatical structures and words, but he also performs an action to the utterance. Action performed by an utterance called speech acts. For an example in the slide, you are fired. This sentence can be used by us as an action to fire someone from his current job. There are three types of speech acts in the slide. The first one is locutionary act, and then illocutionary acts or illocutionary force, and the last one is perlocutionary act or perlocutionary effect. A utterance that produces literal meaning, which has social function in mind. A utterance that gives an effect to do something. For example, it's hot here. In locutionary act, the speaker feels hot in this place. And then illocutionary act, the utterance has two possible meanings inside. The first one is indirect request for someone to open the window, or an indirect refusal to close the window because someone feel cold inside. Or the last one is perlocutionary act. The hearer will open or close the window. Illocutionary act is the main focus of speech acts. For an example, in the illocutionary act, I'll promise you that I'll see you. Illocutionary force or act from an utterance is what it counts as. For an example, I'll see you later. We can find three assumptions from this meaning. Three assumptions from the example. The first one, I'll predict that I'll see you later. It is a prediction. And B, I promise you that I'll see you later. It is a promise. And then in the last one, I warn you that I'll see you later. That is a warning.
Okay, I'm Abelia Rifanka Andrichos. I will continue the explanation about electionary first indicating deficit and felicity condition. The first one is electionary first indicating deficit. An expression from an utterance which contains a slot to put a verb that explicitly named the electionary act being performed, the verb called performative verb. For example, I promise you that I'll see you later. I warn you that I'll see you later. Promise and warn as performative verb. Speakers don't usually perform their speech act with a performative verb, but sometimes they use it to distinct their speech act. For example, can I talk to Mary? No, she's not here. I'm asking you, can I talk to her? And I'm telling you, she's not here. They explicitly describe their utterance's electionary act by using ask and tell as performative verb. Ifits can be identified as a word order, stress, and intonation. For example, A, she's going. It represents I tell you. B, she's going. It represents that I request confirmation. And C, is she going? It represents that I ask you. The next one is felicity condition. To make the utterance can be recognized by the hearer, the circumstance surrounding the speaker must be appropriate with condition. such condition called felicity condition. For example, I sentence you to 6 months in prison. The performance won't be appropriate if the speaker is not a specific person in special context. In this case, the speaker must be a judge in a courtroom. Let's continue the explanation about classification of speech acts. Speech acts can be classified into 5 categories. The classifications are representative, directive, commissive, expressive, and declaration. The first one is representatives. Representatives are speech acts that the utterance commit the speaker to the truth of the expressed propositions. The utterance are produced based on the speaker's observations of certain things, then followed by stating the fact or opinion based on observation. When someone says, she is beautiful, the speaker can state the sentence based on the facts or just give his or her opinion about physical condition of a person. It also states what the speaker believes to be the case or not. Statements of facts, assertions, conclusions, and descriptions are all examples of the speaker representing the world as he or she believes it is. For example, when someone says the earth is flat, it represents the speaker's assertions about the earth. The speaker has opinion that the earth is flat. Representatives speech act can be noted by some speech act of verb such as remind, tell, assert, deny, correct, state, guess, predict, report, describe, inform, insist, assure, agree, claim, believe, conclude, and etc. The next classification of speech acts is directive. Directives are speech acts that a speaker uses to get someone else to do something. These speech acts including requesting, questioning, command, orders, and suggesting. For example, when someone says, "Could you lend me a pencil, please?" the utterance represents the speaker request that the hearer to do something, which is to lend him a pencil. The third classification of speech acts is commissive. Commissives are speech acts that the utterance commit the speaker to some future course of action. These include promising, threatening, offering, refusal, and pledge. For example, when someone says, "I'll be back," it represents that the speaker's promise that she or he will be back.
Concepts are speech acts that the utterances express a physiological state. These speech acts include thanking, apologizing, welcoming, and congratulating. For example, when someone says, "Don't be shy, my home is your home," the utterance represents the speaker's expression that he or she welcomes someone. Declarations are speech acts that the utterances effect immediate changes in the institutional state of affairs and which tend to rely on elaborate extra-linguistic institutions. These speech acts include excommunicating, declaring war, christening, and firing from employment. For example, "You are dead to me." Direct and indirect speech acts. Look at the examples in the presentation slide. The first is "She plants a mango tree." It is declarative or statement sentence. And then, "Does she plant a mango tree?" It is interrogative or question sentence. The third is "Plant a mango tree." It is imperative or command or request sentence. There is an easily recognized relationship between 3 structural forms and 3 general communication functions. Structural forms are declarative, interrogative, and imperative. And then 3 general communication functions there are statement, question, command, or request. Speech is a direct relationship between a structure and a function. Indirect speech is an indirect relationship between a structure and a function. For example, we have known that a declarative sentence has a function as a statement, so we call it direct speech act. But if the declarative sentence used to be a request, we call it indirect speech act. Look at the examples. A. It is cold outside. B. I hereby tell you about the weather. And then C. I hereby request of you that you close the door. Parents are A is a declarative. So if we use it, make a statement as purpose in B, it is functioning as a direct speech. If the A used to make a command or request as purpose in C, it is functioning as an indirect speech. Another examples, move out the way. It is imperative or command. Do you have to stand in front of the TV? It is interrogative or command. You are standing in front of the TV. It is declarative or command. And then, could you open the window? The utterance not only needs the answer yes or no, but it also asks the hearer to do something. It is interrogative sentence as a command, or we call it indirect speech act. That's all from us. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.